The main aspect of the DPP is really that information downstream the supply chain, right? Only if you have automation in place you can scale. I'm the global lead for our sustainability services team at Westernacher. Westernacher Consulting is 55 years old. Meanwhile, we are since 30 years an SAP partner, and we focus heavily on digital supply chain, especially on the process area, really consulting our customers from an end-to-end perspective, really from a start to a process up to the full end, with digital transformation and also how to run these processes in best practices. And of course, from a sustainability perspective and also with regards to DPP, that is quite essential that you really have this full process covered, because DPP at the end takes from all areas information. The main aspect of the DPP is really that information downstream the supply chain, right? This basically up to tier N, that you need to have all that information. Where is it sourced from? What are the materials that go into? What are potentially the recycling rates? What are carbon emissions that are emitted during the production and transportation process? So that heavily relies on the information that a supplier can give to you. And of course also on the quality that is provided by the supplier. It's not necessarily given that you really have primary data. Sometimes you're just working with assumptions, to calculate information. So that is one important aspect why suppliers are such a critical aspect. And then your procurement team, of course, needs to work with these suppliers, needs to establish frameworks so that suppliers can provide that information, that you also have a standardized way, right? So there is a close connect between your own sustainability compliance team and your procurement team needed, what you need as information, that this is structured, retrieved from suppliers, that you have all the technology also in hand so that you can automate this process. The regulatory aspect is quite challenging. It's pretty much ever changing, and even for the digital product passport, right, we are not in a fixed state that we can say, oh, that is exactly this, what we need. And then customers are still building up their processes, their system landscape to really support these regulations and also serve, of course, internal stakeholder needs or customer needs that they have from a B2B perspective. And that's really super challenging, because on the one hand you want to do this in a very cost-effective way, which sometimes boils down to what we see very often using Excel files. But of course this is not something that you can leverage, that you can scale and say, okay, we do this now for 1,000 suppliers, in a very structured manner and also audit-proof and so on. And that's really where customers have a challenge of setting this up, creating these processes and having the technology at place to serve this. This is a standardized interface, perhaps, that I can share information via in an automated way, or I know every quarter I need to report here and there into this platform. Then I'm also, so to say, secure. I can plan from an effort perspective. I can have the team and also the information upfront prepared. If it all comes a bit unstructured, then it's kind of this reactive mode instead of an active mode in terms of really driving, so to say, the information and preparing it upfront. It's not necessarily only a decision that is taken by procurement on price. It's also then sustainability. It's also security, that the supplier is actually able to deliver. So all this needs to be considered and will go then into a supplier rating. What changes if you have all that data in one system is really that you do not work anymore in data silos. What I see constantly at customers is that information is somewhere in the organization available, but it's not connected. It's somewhere here, parts of it. Then you have an SQL database, you have somewhere some Excel, somewhere it's only in the people's brain, unfortunately. But then bringing this all together really makes this 360 view on, okay, how do I actually deal with all this? And if you have that in tools like the Osapiens Hub, you actually have all that information available and then can take really guided and objective decisions. Only if you have automation in place you can scale. And that is something which sustainability is still perhaps at certain angles lacking in companies. Yeah, for finance, we all know since many years, okay, we need to do every month a reporting that needs to be in place, and nobody would question like, okay, why do you have systems in place that support you in setting up your financial accounting, yeah, and your financial reports? For sustainability, it's still this, okay, yeah, well, can we not save this? But if we have that in place, then you can scale, and then it's also not really a huge exercise anymore. It's something that you can do constantly and then actually focus on taking decisions.